Today we're going to ask an important question. Is it time to be worried about Paper Rex? Because so far they have played 2 games in Pacific Kickoff. Their first one here was against Global Esports, to which they did win, but it wasn't very convincing. They didn't look very good. And then earlier today, they played against RRQ and got absolutely shellacked. 13-6, 13-5. And we're going to take a look at this run of rounds on Pearl to start off map 2, where they were 10-0 down. And if you are one of those people who thinks, no, TMV, they lost to a good RRQ, there's nothing to worry about, well, let's just take a look at the start of round number 3.
4-1. Yep, pretty good. They're just going to leave him on his own. Both teams running 4-1 stacks. Kitty corner from each other. Hello?
Behind this one, but Jing is just storming.
Okay, that's going to somewhat set the tone for this video. It won't all be this bad, don't worry. For those of you wondering, what the hell is going on here? What are they even trying to do? What is Jing doing? I believe what the plan here from Paper Rex is, they're trying to fake like they are being super aggro, if you get what I mean. Right? So they are trying to fake as if, 3+ people are running up here. Flash, dart, nanoswarm, smokes, just util bombardment here from Paper Rex, pretending like everyone's running up here. And then I think what the plan is Jing actually does run up here, but then he recalls back, to kind of like sell this almost as like a fake. And then you can see these guys are actually already on their way to B, right? So the plan is to we're going to fake this aggro A, they're going to go B, and then we're going to run across, the map, and we're going to be there by the time that they actually get to B, which is kind of a cool plan. Obviously, though, Jing doesn't recall and instead tries to take the fight, which I'm pretty sure is not his job. You can see here in the bottom left, like he has used his recall, like he has activated it, but he just not press it for whatever reason and dies and kind of just completely ruins the plan. The other thing I would say is, this is round 3. So this is your anti-bonus round. And you're going for like this very kind of like tricksy, flashy, almost kind of interesting play. But do you need to on an anti-bonus round? This to me almost looks like this would be a bonus round kind of play, right? Where you're not necessarily favored to win the round. Because it has risk to it, right? Like, it has risk to it that it could go wrong like it does. Obviously, the way it goes wrong is very bad. But now you look at the map, like, imagine the rest of RRQ were just out here and then they just decided to come back to A. Like, you've lost, right? Like, the round is probably over at that point. Or, like, if they did just run B straight away and no one was here and you did all this fake aggro and all these rotates coming across or whatever, and then they just got onto the B site and you're just in a full retake. Like, it's a risky plan that obviously did not work, but I'm also just wondering whether it was the right time to work. And now in a 5v4, here come RRQ. They actually do, what Paper Rex kind of wanted them to do. They're running down here towards B. Paper Rex are here, but it doesn't matter.
Players just around the corner here at main. Forsaken opening up, able to find one through that smoke, but the counter spray from Moniette does connect. Self-thrown now on the hunt, gets the ping reveal, the slide forward. Envy eventually stabilizes the spray as Moniette will fall. Something, however, going to be traded out. As this bonus already very solid for RRQ, and now getting even better.
Okay, so the first part from Jing obviously went really bad, but actually the main theme of this video is what happened just, right? What you just saw, because I think Paper X's main problem right now is they have no patience. They've reverted back to old Paper X, where just everything simply must happen now. I understand Jing has put you in a bit of a bad spot, so this makes some sense why Forsaken, wants to do this and tries to even up the numbers and maybe tries to figure out, are they actually fully here? Is this their full exec? But there's got to be better ways of doing this. I mean, Envy has a drone here. Could we do it off the drone? If we need the information, we've got a drone. That will give us the information, right? If he's doing this for info, it doesn't make sense, right? If he's doing this to, try and win this fight because he thinks that they are there, this almost makes no sense as well, right? Like, he's on an isolated angle. Yes, something is somewhat supporting him here by being on this box as well, but this is a very risky fight to take dry, just jumping up like that. He does manage to get one, but then gets traded, right? Which obviously isn't great. But then they actually do manage to hold this site decently well, these two, right? Like, they do actually get into a good position. They kill Crazy Guy, they kill Moniette just there. Okay, we're in a fine spot, and you see something there, right? That little moment there where he starts running away and starts running to survive. Like, he's in a good spot. Right here, he's doing the right thing. Right now, they're in a 3v2. They're in a good spot. They know the chamber's been on the other side of the map. It's just this guy. They can either coordinate a swing together. They can just hide and play a 3v2. The spike is down in the middle of the site. You're in a good spot. What does he decide to do? Let me swing back out on my own and take that fight and die. That is you are going to see this happen a fair few times in this video. And this to me is the main problem, because now you've put Envy in a really bad spot because they know where he is. Now he's in a really tough spot, and, you know, Jemkin is there by this point, and now you're in a 2v1.
On the side, grab well for the pull. Levi for the moment, I mean, he's paid no attention towards that long angle. But
okay, now let's skip ahead to the next full gun round, round number 5, which starts a bit chaotically.
Let's play.
as Mr. Tour de Force, listen in as things start getting chaotic.
I think no one.
One more. I go by.
With a wand, but yeah, we'll have to cut out of that one as it ends up being a very wild round.
So I do like the kind of hectic team comms that we get here. Obviously, we're going to get a Neon ult. I do like the Munyet. I think it's Munyet at one point says 1 HP, even though Jing is actually on 43 HP, which is definitely not 1 HP. But here we go. They get into a 4v3, right? Here we go. We stop the hit here. We kind of stop what they're doing. 4v3, we're doing fine. Now, RRQ at this point decide to slow down the round. And they actually allow Crazy Guy to go exploring, right? And obviously we've seen a lot happen over towards B, so he takes his time here. He's going to come exploring A, and the rest of the team is eventually going to come to him, and we're going to end up in a 4v3 situation here for Paper X. Obviously Forsaken is holding this deep angle here in pit, but now from this point, again, I just want to point out 4v3, we have actually kind of started to rotate over, right? So we're getting here for Paper Rex. They're not in a terrible spot. I just also want to point out they have two very big ults for this, right? You have a Yoru ult, Astra ult. So if you're these guys now, if you're Paper Rex, your job is essentially just delay the spike getting down so that something can get across here. Yoru ult, Astra ult, you know, and off the information that you get and all of that, you know, win the round, right? That should be your goal. Instead, take a look at what happens.
Crazy Guy still has that stealth drone. That's a spot. It's a slow peek immediately. Sending out that stun, not going to clip on a Forsaken, but gets a bit of damage off that wall bang attempt, but can't quite confirm the kill. Envy does manage to find Crazy Guy. Now it's just going to be the double approach.
So to me, again, this is just like inexcusable for multiple players, to be honest. First, Devi, this is awful Valorant. I mean, a player with this experience should not be doing this, right? I mean, that's really, really poor Valorant from Devi. And then even the Astra suck from Forsaken, and then he spams where his suck isn't, so maybe, you know, a bit of agent mastery to learn a bit there. But then even they get back into a 3v2. And again, like now, okay, you're in a 3v2, the spike has just gone down. But now something actually is getting across here, right? Like now he's there. So all we've got to do now is like, okay, 3v2. Again, we've got Astra. We've still got Astra ult, Yoru ult here. Right? We've still got these ults. 3v2 in a good spot still, right? Even with the mistake from Devi. So, okay, just wait, right? Let him get to here. Let him Yoru ult, clear this smoke, you know, clear some of main, clear some of this, right? You'll start figuring it out. Okay, we know where they are. You know, Astra ult them off, hold this, crossfire, win the round. Easy. This actually should be a fairly routine. For a team that's meant to be as good as Paper X, this should be a fairly routine kind of win from this point. Instead, what are you doing? What is this in a 3v2 where you've got two big ults? I mean, this is unbelievable. Unbelievably bad, right? If you think about where RRQ could be, obviously they could be here, which they are. They could be in this smoke, right? So he has no idea where his crosshair is. They could come from main as well, right? Just so you're aware, Forsaken is not holding his main here. And of course he's going to lose this fight because of where his crosshair is. Because he doesn't know where his crosshair should be. But again, just to reiterate, you would know where your crosshair would be because this guy's going to have an ult. So just so many bad things. And now let's watch RRQ actually play out a 2v2 pretty intelligently.
Now it's just going to be the double approach from the stairs side, a 2v2. Cushy has a Hunter's Fury. They got to make a go of this. Sooner rather than later do Paper X. A single pulse. And that would be something dead. First one flying, second one gone. Forsaken now could stick to this. The grab well going to be called in. Cosmic Divide is going to be set up, but no one's watching main. The time off, and Xpharaoh!
So that is really, really nicely done by RRQ, and it shows the level of thought that one team has and kind of the level that they're at and the level of thought that the other team is at, right? And where they are right now. Because, yeah, this is just really good, right? As soon as Xpharaoh gets that kill, right, he knows he's revealed himself, but he knows his teammate has a Silver ult. So just watch, he instantly starts running back here. Well, I've got enough delay between the Astra suck and your Silver ult, but your Silver ult is going to reveal that you're here. So they're going to both think that we're on this side, and they have an Astra ult, so we don't want that, right? So instead, I'm going to full rotate this way. You know, you're going to delay with the silver ult. That's great. I've got an Astrasuck to delay as well, right? Just here. So when they go for this, I get a free kill on something, right? Because he thinks we're both there. And then Forsaken now knows, like, he doesn't have time there. And so it's really, really well played by RRQ. And it's atrociously played from Paper Rex. Okay, now let's skip ahead to the next gun round, round number 7, which again starts off very well for Paper Rex.
Stay up for EMEA.
B. You pick this up. 1, 2, swing. I'm in here, boys. B.
Well, something unable to escape, but still early advantage to the side of Paper Rex. Just get back down to 47.
Okay, so again, this ends up in a 5v3 for a brief moment. Now, let's call this really a 4v3 because of the trade on something. But I do think here, again, and one thing, you know, they come up with a nice plan to start this round. They get the first kill, right, from Jing just there. Great start. Something then gets this kill. And again, I think something of last year, right? One of the things I remember saying about something last year when he was popping off on Yoru is that he, more than kind of anyone else, had just a great understanding of when to TP and when he could stick around. Well, right here, we see an example of where he gets it wrong. Now, of course, it's fine to get it wrong sometimes, but I do feel like Peak something, you know, has seen his teammates maybe get the first kill, has then got to kill himself, and would just instantly think, well, I don't need to stick around, it's 5v3. And so he would just TP straight away. Because if you take a look at this again, like, he eventually tries to TP, but he doesn't do it insta, right? So kill, run away, get up, back out, then, oh, he's here, panic TP, right? Whereas I feel like maybe something playing at his peak again would just TP. Okay, you can call that a little bit unlucky, which I think that it is a bit unlucky, but you are spamming with a Vandal and you get what you deserve. And there isn't really a need to do this here necessarily. Again, right, because you this time in V are the one with the ult. Again, you've got this really good ult combo here that you potentially could use that is sometimes just a free kill. So again, could you wait for them to tap the spike and then just hit both of those ults? Yes, it does kind of look like Jing, you know, backed up to potentially, you know, think about that and do that. Envy decides to stick around and spam. He ends up dying. It is a bit unlucky. At the same time, you are spamming with a Vandal. You take that risk, right? And now we end up in a 3v3. And again, let's just watch RRQ play this situation extremely well.
Cushy finds him through the smoke.
You are divided.
Cosmic Divide called through.
Oh,
Virgin Path sent Mon yet. Slipping past the wall, catching Forsaken completely off guard. Xfero within this tiny little sliver forward on the site. A casual drag.
So again, whilst RRQ are playing it, you know, very well, you do have to say, Paper Rex, again, like, what are they doing? They're just not thinking again. No one is thinking that this could happen at all. Also, Jing's ult here, I don't really know who is he expecting to be able to play off of that ult? Like, what about his teammates' positions makes him think, yeah, they're gonna run through this and you know, be able to get there in time. Again, whilst RRQ were playing it well, clearly the cogs were not turning in the Paper X minds. And then finally here, I want to finish with round number 8, because in this round, Paper X obviously have just lost a gun round, but they had like just enough money to kind of like force this up here, you know, and go for this aggressive buy. Obviously they're 7-0 down, they want to get on the board and all of that. And what I just want to point out is that Jemkin bought an Outlaw, right? And this, to me, is something I just kind of bigger picture in Valorant right now. Just want to point out, in the start of this round, you're about to see he's about to get 2 kills and basically end the round straight away with this Outlaw. And then in the next round, he gets a first kill with the Outlaw again. Like, the teams that are doing well right now, in my opinion, if you think about across all regions, BBL abuse Outlaw up probably more than anyone right now, right? They're in the upper final in EMEA. Furia were doing it a bunch against G2 yesterday. They're in the upper final in Americas, right? You've got RRQ doing it right here. You've got Nongshim abusing the Judge with Danby a ton, right? As well in Pacific. Again, upper final team. Like, it's not a coincidence to me that the teams that are, like, doing well right now are also the teams that are abusing guns like the Outlaw, the Judge, and just basically winning free rounds like this one. You know, where Paper X are coming in thinking, oh, well, we've got 3 ults and we've got a chance. Well, you don't have a chance, because take a look at how this round goes.
everything that they try just is thwarted. You lose the op again, and you got to force into this round.
Goodbye.
Jemkin knows it.
I have a second. Yep.
But that right there, those 2 kills are emblematic of kind of the paper Rex problem right now. Because for Envy, you could say this is, this is fine. Like, he doesn't know he's got an Outlaw. He jump peaks, he dies. Maybe you call that unlucky. But then for Forsaken to think, and remember, Monyet just spams that box here, so he's also heard a gun here as well. So he knows that multiple players are here, one of which with an Outlaw, and he's got light shields. In what world do you think solo dry swinging into what you think is multiple players when you're already, in a bad spot? Like, how is this going to work? Like, how often is this decision going to work? Almost never. And again, like, at this point in the round, like, the round is not over yet, right? I know you're in a 5v4, but, like, you still have 2 big ults. The round is not over, but it is over when you do that.